pit.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Total market cap excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin, and obviously the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we're trying to marry all these things together to find where the altcoins are going to start moving, basically. Where's the altcoins going to move? Because we have to keep focusing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the main thing to do at the moment. Altcoins come as a very distant second thought. But with it, when it comes to Bitcoin, it's looking okay. We were discussing yesterday on yesterday's video about how effectively this appears to be like an accumulation zone, you know, from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top, and then yesterday or 2 days ago now, basically, came down to this this zone, right? This 37,000 where we found supports on, basically. Now, I don't really hold that support as any particular area of some major significance, but we have had a decent reaction from it at the moment. What we could be looking for now is continuation up to maybe into this box at least. Maybe not the 200 exponential, which is 45,000. That would be the absolute top of this current run. And I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately today, so don't go leveraging your entire life savings on a long. This is still a very difficult range, while we're still meandering, you know, side to side, from side to side. Classic accumulation kind of vibe though when you look at it on the 4 hourly. Up above all major moving averages, down below all major moving averages. Up above all major moving averages, down below, and up above. It's basically nondescript, really. And that, partly, I would say, is due to all the crazy, indecisive trading environment which is going on for everything right now. We've got Russia, Ukraine. We've got Federal Reserve monetary policy with a rate hike that's due in about 7 days. We've got oil shooting through the roof. We've got precious metals banging out. We've got inflation crushing currencies. We've got all kinds of stuff. Just makes it very difficult. Don't think even Rain Man would be able to quantify all the stuff that's going on right now and come out with any kind of particular solution. Which is why I said, you know, the best thing to do is view this as one quite large, potentially larger than this zone that we're in right now, accumulation, and focus only really on Bitcoin until we get, you know, well, we spoke about it on the live stream last night, but a few things we need to put together to take the risk on the small cap altcoins, where I do believe that when the criteria is met, it'll be quite an explosive move. There'll be like serious amounts of percent get gained from, you know, all these sort of things that you'll find on KuCoin and Gate.io and all that sort of stuff. So at the moment we've got our golden cross, death cross, golden cross, death cross. Are we going to get golden cross? Well, we will if we hang around this particular level for a couple of days. On the last 4 hourly candle body close, so 2 hours ago, we got a signal generated on the Itchy Cloud to suggest a pump up, you know, from this particular zone. So what I'd be looking for in an ideal world would be a pullback, you know, a consolidation. Again, we've got the signal. The signal won't get cancelled out. This has been generated now, so it is what it is. But it does. It also means that we're subject to price action and being overextended on the Bollinger Band. It could instantly shoot up into this box, which would be just below 44,000 to a top of 45,800, back into this zone basically, where we get rejection. This is the zone really. So I'll be looking for that to happen inevitably now that we have that signal, but do we pull back before or do we go straight up into it? That's the question. So we'll have a look at the momentum, see what's going on over here. So we don't look particularly overheated on Money Flow Index, RSI, and actually the MACD looks pretty good, looking like it wants to continue and cross above the 0 point and actually make that powerful move. So it does look quite good. It may not pull back and it might just move into this zone. This zone is the major zone though to break for continuation at this point now. So like I say, we've got our top zone here about 45,800. What's the 20 weekly looking like at the moment? What kind of level is that at? That is at 47,500, so still a little bit higher than this boxy zone. But it would be a start, and if we were to reclaim the box, we have the 21 exponential. So the reason I have 21 exponential, you know, mirroring or running alongside the 20 simple moving average, basically the center of the Bollinger Band, is that in many ways exponentials make more sense for cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, which, as we all know, can on some occasions be relatively sluggish. Holding above the 21 or the 20 is still quite bullish. Being below it is actually pretty bearish. So this is like the line in the sand. Are you with us or are you against us? Are you a bull or are you a bear? You can see that we've not really been able to get towards the 21 exponential very often. We've had one, two, three rejections from it, and then a fourth one last week. So if we move up in towards it, we're talking 44,500, give or take. And again, that's just the 21 exponential. For me, really, I'd like to see us be above both of those. That's effectively your bull market support band or bear market resistance band that people refer to, rather than having a fancy indicator just to show it. That's basically what they are. We've got a 21 exponential and a 20 simple, so that's where they are. That's what we need to reclaim. At the moment, though, we're still not obviously anywhere close to having that short signal on a weekly, so that's good. That's definitely good. And on the monthly, what we are is looking at another bounce from, again, the 21 exponential on the monthly. So it's looking still quite positive. Everything's looking pretty positive, despite the world effectively burning and crumbling in an economic way, never mind in an actual physical way. So I'm relatively hopeful for this in the short term, whether we have a pullback first and then move back into this box, or we just move straight back into that box. The question is, where do we close, and where do we close on a daily? And do we close inside the box, outside the box? We got the 200 exponential coming in at this level here. That is more or less where the 21 exponential on the weekly is. So 44,500, getting above there and reclaiming that. I would make the case that we do have a really big continuation for Bitcoin. Now, it sounds crazy. It does sound crazy in this world that we live in, with everything crumbling around us, but it would suggest that would likely be a very, very big move for us to reclaim this particular area. Now, we have been rejected from the 200 exponential here and here and here and here, so it is a very, very strong area of resistance. And so while below it, we should respect the fact that it is in control of the bears. The bears have that exponential. The bears have the power to just knock us straight back down, as they will do. But reclaiming it again, we can then say that the bulls have reclaimed it, and the 200 exponential is now on our side. But still, I stand to what I've been saying. Our being outside of this major consolidation does make it more reasonable to assume that we're in an accumulation. The 4-hourly looks very much like an accumulation. If you stand back and have a look at what we're doing here, where the major consolidation is over, the major downside is over. This is all effectively, this is a combination of things. We were consolidating anyway. Then we had the virus kick us down the stairs. Then we had the realization that the Fed are going to have to do something to sort out the inflation, and we were basically pricing this in, as was all traditional markets. We came out of that, we emerged, not as a beautiful butterfly, but as a bit of a slimy, slow slug, and now we're creeping and crawling, towards the end of this itchy cloud, which again, is going to dissipate over the next month or so, which is why I've been saying and reiterating the vast amount of my purchasing power is going to be left until at least we get the rate hike. Not that I'm expecting anything major or either way. It's that clarification of what it is that they are going to do, so we can use that as a stepping stone to start allocating some capital into risk, and that's what we want. And that would you could put that overlay that knowledge on top of this chart and go, well, okay, we're going to have a break in the cloud. We're going to have a green portion of the cloud. If we can start closing candle bodies above 42,500, consistently over the coming weeks, we'll have one of those buy signals, a buy signal that will generate quite a decent push up, and that's what we want to see. So at the moment, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Fed to tell us what they're going to do, and we're not going to get particularly excited about any major upside. We're also not going to get particularly scared about any major downside. We do need to see a trend form, and if you really want to get on the right side of a trend, you want to have the higher term time frames be on your side, basically be in the weekly. And again, we're below that at the moment, so the bears have control of the weekly. Bulls now have control in a short term on the 4-hourly. Daily is still in control of the bears, so there's a fight, and obviously the bulls have control over the monthly, so your guess is as good as mine, I have to say. Now, the bullish divergence from yesterday is playing out as we speak, so that's looking quite good on the 4-hourly, but the 4-hourlies can fizzle out soon, quite quickly. We may fizzle out already and come down to retest these zones. We might even just fall all the way back down to where we started from. And worst case scenario, well, I'd say worst case scenario, it depends if you've got money waiting to go into Bitcoin. I've got buy orders down at 29,000 for the most obvious reason. 29,000 historical support with massive reactions to it. Bang to the top. down, bang, bang to the top. So if we do come down here, it's actually quite a welcome. I would welcome it in. I would get the heating on and serve Bitcoin a cup of tea as it comes knocking on the 29,000 door. I'll be like, here you go, mate. Welcome to my house. Let me invest a little piece. Stay as long as you like. I can put some more in if you want, and I will see you later at much greater, higher numbers. Doesn't mean that it's going to have to do that straight away, by the way. Just trying to be clever here with some stupid analogy. I haven't had enough coffee to be that entertaining this morning. So yeah, it is what it is. It's doing what we discussed: accumulation in a choppy way. Bots will probably be enjoying this more than anyone as we flesh out this range. But don't be surprised if we do come down to the bottom. We're looking for that 4-hourly signal to play out and move us into this box, the box of major rejection, and the line in the sand given to us by the daily and the weekly. 44,500 be a big deal, and an even bigger deal would be to close above this box, which is 45,800. I'll leave it with you there. There's not a great deal more to say. We spoke enough about altcoins on the stream last night. I'm sure we'll speak about them again on Friday. Again, we've got a plan set out just because we see upside taking place for Bitcoin and altcoins being dragged behind it, which is effectively what's happening. You know, we have a move up on the Bitcoin dominance chart, so it's all very much in keeping with the overall strategy that we spoke about last night. So don't try and deviate from that if you decide you want to act upon that specific plan. That's my plan. I'm definitely going to stick to it. That's where the big gains are going to be made. I'm not going to be distracted by a green day. I'm going to wait on the sidelines for major altcoin opportunities. I've told you many times this entire area has been bought out for me. 35,000 being the lowest and the highest being 40,600 after selling around this zone. This is the way I do it, I'm afraid. It's not a daily... you know, we can monitor the situation on a daily basis, but when it comes to major investments and buys and trades, really... truly, honestly, sometimes I do as little as one a month, you know, and futures trades, last month I didn't do a single one, but they average on about 2 a month, so there's no need to overtrade in this market, and especially while we're effectively going sideways, while the bears have control over the weekly and the daily. I'm not going to go crazy. Bought this zone, it's all bought out. I'd be interested in this zone and see where we go from there. We've spoken about black swans. They can happen. So if we nuke this chart, completely nuke's probably the wrong word in this climate right now, but if we completely dump as a result of something silly going on in the world that can't be predicted effectively on this chart, so be it. That's TA cannot account for those sort of things. But if we don't nuke, I'm still looking for this area to be the main area of play. 29,000 bottom to effectively this area at the top. We're obviously closer to the top than we are at the bottom, so that does offer less return if you're looking to get involved around these zones right now, which is why, like I say, I stick to what I say. Sold over here, bought over here, and bought over here. Nothing else to do with Bitcoin right now. Nothing else to do until a trend forms. The leverage can stay at a zero, and altcoins. Well, I've got my eyes peeled. I know what I'm going to do, and I know who I'm going to choose, but I'm not going to do it today. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.